Hey everyone, welcome to another edition of the SoCal Sports Dudes podcast. Jason Wen here. Today I wanted to run through the NBA, kind of look at the standings and the playoff seedings at the moment, as well as the teams that are looking at maybe the playoff play-in game, as well as the buyout market, where that's going to be, of course, the next set of moves to be made for some of these contending teams. Now that the trades have all been completed, let's see what kind of candidates are out there to get bought out and signed with certain teams. So run through the East real quick. One seed is Boston. They've been kind of up there near the top for most of the year. Of course, they acquired Muscala there at the trade deadline, added another shooter. Milwaukee's in the second spot. They just beat Boston in a tough game there the other day. Milwaukee's been hot, man. When they win like 10, 11 straight. Of course, they just picked up Jay Crowder. They'll be getting Bobby Portis back from injury, so they're going to be adding to that roster here pretty soon. Philly's in the 3 spot, followed by Cleveland. Brooklyn at 5. They, of course, traded away Kyrie, but picked up, it looks like, some good pieces in that deal. I mean, they're not the star players, although Mikal Bridges had 45 the other day. Cam Thomas has been playing really well. Dinwiddie back. So you got some good talent there. We'll see where it takes them, though, if they're going to hang into that spot or slide a bit in the standings. You lose both Kyrie and KD. You figure those are your star guys, but let's see what happens. The Knicks are now in 6th spot, and then 7th is Miami. And after that, it gets pretty tight. Atlanta in the 8th spot, Toronto in the 9th spot, followed by Washington at 10, Chicago at 11, Indiana at 12, and Orlando at 13 is kind of hanging in there at the bottom end of this. Charlotte and Detroit kind of falling behind there, looking more like lottery-bound teams, of course. But from 8 through 13, there's only 3.5 games separating those teams. So a lot of things can happen there, man. It looks like Washington got Kuzma back from injury. Of course, Toronto with the trio with Siakam and Anunoby, they held on to Trent and Van Fleet there in the trade deadline. Of course, Atlanta's got Collins and Trae Young. Chicago with Levine, DeRozan and company. So Indiana kept, re-signed Miles Turner. Halliburton's been great. Buddy Hield. Man, it's gonna be interesting to see how this kind of plays out. 3.5 games separating all those teams. Maybe one of them kind of climb and try to catch, at the heels there of Miami or New York. But so that's what the East is looking like at the moment. Of course, today is February 16th, so we're headed into the All-Star break here. So still a ways to go. I believe there's about 25, 27 games left for most of these teams. The Western Conference, Denver's in the 1 spot, as they have been most of the year. Memphis is 2nd, Sacramento 3rd. And then it goes Phoenix, Clippers, Minnesota, 4, 5, 6. Dallas is 7. It must be interesting to see how that new combo works there. New Orleans at 8. Golden State 9. You got OKC 10. 11 is Utah, 12 Portland, and 13th the Lakers. Man, they're still kind of down there at 27 now and 32. They did win a game earlier today yesterday against New Orleans. So nice win for them. Of course, being a team that's ahead of them in the standings. And I think now with this new collection of talent, maybe they can start to ascend and climb the standings here and get into one of these spots. So only 2 games separate 10 through 13 here in this list. So Lakers at 27 and 32, only 2 games back of that 10 spot in the loss column, and then 5 games separating slots 4 through 13. So it's still a ways to go here, and teams, got to avoid injuries and continue to stay hot in order to stay ahead of whoever's behind them. A lot of things can happen here, man. Some of these teams can slide down a bit. Other teams are going to climb up, as I mentioned before in some of my other previous videos. But it's going to be a slugfest here in the stretch run here in the NBA. So looking forward to seeing how this all turns out. Hopefully, my Lakers can get in there and make a run at this. Legitimately make a run at it. I think before it might have been a little of the rose-colored lenses there with that roster that they had before all the trades they made. Now they made some nice moves there at the trade deadline. Hopefully that's going to make a difference when they're playing on the court, and of course what they can do in the standings here. And a couple of these other teams that made moves, you wonder if it's if they are going to be able to sustain it and if they've actually strengthened the roster. I think Dallas might have added a star player there in Kyrie, but they've subtracted other key players to that team. Their defense isn't looking so good. I mean, Sacramento, they've been the 3 spot. Are they really that good, man? They're going to stay up there that high. I mean, I expect some of these other teams to probably start to climb up and over them. Who knows, though? Mike Brown's been doing a really good job with them. So it's going to be fun to see how this thing kind of continues to, how it evolves and how the West shakes out as the year goes on. Yeah, San Antonio and Houston, of course, are kind of, San Antonio's hanging in there, but they're dropping off now in the 14 and 15 spots. So it looks like they're lottery bound. Of course, I think they get into them Wembanyama sweepstakes. I think some of those teams are probably not all that disappointed that they're giving themselves a better chance they're in the lottery to get that top pick. And even if you end up getting the second pick there, you get, Scoop there. So not a bad consolation prize. Of course, Wembanyama is the grand prize there for whoever wins the lottery. So we'll see how that plays out. Also, from a selfish point of view, if the Lakers can kind of hang up there and catch up to New Orleans, that will also impact the pick swap that New Orleans holds over us. So if we kind of fall, right up in there, climb the rankings a little bit, and we don't give up a top 5 pick or something for the trade we made before, it'd be nice to see them climb the ladder a bit, so we don't have to worry so much about giving away a pick that ends up being the next great project there, or next great prospect in Wembanyama. So yeah, keep an eye on that. Buyout market looks like now some of these guys, it looks like the list is kind of starting to become more clear about who might be hitting the buyout market. Of course, Russell Westbrook was dealt to Utah. Looks like he's going to be bought out. Front runner right now looks like Chicago. I mean, that's a guy that, Lonzo Ball, of course, hasn't been able to play, so they can use a guy with his abilities there in Chicago. Might be a good fit for him, good opportunity. Get some playing time. I've heard, you've heard the Clippers name mentioned. You've heard Miami being a team that might be interested in Westbrook. He's, of course, still a talented player, but might have to be, fit, a certain fit with the right team for him to be able to blend in and really highlight his abilities. Patrick Beverley, another guy that we moved on in the Mo Bamba trade. It looks like Orlando's going to be buying him out. I don't know exactly where he'll be headed. Of course, he had a great run there in Minnesota last year. Was a Clipper for many years. I kind of took a liking to Pat Bev with him, fighting for us. So I wouldn't want to see him go back to crosstown rival. But hey, Clippers, I think, still have a little bit of a void there at point guard. Terrence Ross, a guy that Orlando's buying out. Looks like he's going to be heading to Phoenix after first talking, looking like he was going to go to Dallas. But yeah, Phoenix, man, getting some good pieces there to fill in those, fill up the roster. That a lot of the good pieces being dealt in that Kevin Durant trade. You get a shooter like Terrence Ross, man. It's not a bad pickup there if you can get him. Reggie Jackson was a Clipper, got dealt to Charlotte for Plumlee. Looks like he's going to be bought out. It looks like he's kind of eyeing Denver as the possible landing spot. Of course, Denver just traded Bones Highland to the Clippers, so probably need a backup guard there. And Reggie Jackson, man, has had some really good moments. Danny Green is going to be most likely bought out by the Rockets. Looks like he might be headed to Cleveland. John Wall, another guy with the Rockets, that was probably going to get bought out. I don't know how much gas he has in the tank. He, maybe on a part-time role, he might be able to come in and provide a spark to a certain team. Will Barton from the Wizards, if he gets bought out, that's a good shooter for team contenders to get. Kevin Love now looks like Cleveland might be buying him out. So teams that have been tied to him, Golden State and Miami. Miami could use some bigs. Of course, they just bought out or traded Dwayne Dedman, who might be another buyout candidate. But Kevin Love, man, I think he's going to be able to help somebody. He's not getting much playing time there in Cleveland with the bigs that they got there. So going to be interesting to see where he lands. Still a guy I think that has a lot of high basketball IQ and a lot of skills that can complement certain rosters out there. Serge Ibaka from Indiana will be bought out, and then Justin Holiday looks like he's going to get bought out too. So worth keeping an eye on this list. Being a Laker guy, I want to see who maybe one of these guys ends up coming back to the Lakers. I was kind of thinking, maybe Danny Green or Kevin Love was available. Hey, I'd be all on board with that. Terrence Ross, of course, was a guy I'd love to have more. Can never have enough shooting, man. So if we would have got him, would have been great. I mean, Will Barton, you know, would be a good fit. I wouldn't have minded Reggie Jackson off the bench as a backup point guard. We think we did trade away some of our guards there, Kendrick Nunn, P-Bev, and Westbrook all being dealt away. So now it's kind of fallen onto D'Lo and Schroeder's shoulders there to handle the ball handling duties. You know, if you had an extra depth there with either Reggie Jackson or maybe a John Wall type, maybe not a bad thing to consider there. So, but yeah, let me know what you guys think, man. I just wanted to run through this list of you know, the standings and then the buyout market there, just to kind of keep you guys posted on kind of the what's going on around the NBA. So thank you guys for tuning in. We will see you in the next video. Oh yeah, and please subscribe, like, and provide some comments in the comment section below. You know, share it with your friends, man. Love to help grow this channel, provide you guys more content. Appreciate you guys tuning in. We'll see you in the next one. All right.